Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the live stream today. In yesterday's video, we covered the USA, all the things that has been happening, all of the executive orders under Donald Trump. Today, though, we're going to be focusing on quite the opposite. We're going to be looking at the UK, United Kingdom, and what is happening in the UK. It's almost unbelievable when I go through the numbers in a moment with you and tell you what is happening here. But I had to, even when I calculated this, I had to double check the numbers for myself because I said this can't be right with the outflow at the moment in the UK. So let's go over some of this then. So currently in the UK, we're not talking about immigration. We're talking today about emigration. So people leaving the UK is now one person, or 1.3 if you want specifically. 1.3 people are, or one person is now leaving the United Kingdom every minute. Or you could say four people are leaving every 3 minutes. Quite staggering, but wait till you get onto the wealth aspect and the millionaires that are leaving. And the reason we're going to talk about this is because I've been following a lot of people. I've been on X quite a lot today as well, reading all the comments. We got a lot to go through today, but a lot of people saying, well, good riddance to all these millionaires and good riddance to all this other stuff. I don't think, because it's not taught in schools anymore, that people realize what happens when these people leave the country and leave the country with their businesses. A lot of them have digital businesses. When a lot of them move their staff out of the country, the GDP per capita drops, etc. I was quite staggered at the fact that so many people didn't understand a lot of these principles. So we'll go through this in a moment. But in the year ending June of 2024, so just 7 months ago, approximately 479,000 people emigrated from the United Kingdom. So this was 1.3 people every single minute. The Labour government, which is the UK current government, if you're not from the UK, says that they don't actually see any issue with the number of Brits leaving due to increase. Sorry, let me say that again. That are leaving due to emigration because they say the increase in immigration or migration, which, and I quote, more than makes up for the outflows. Now, again, from an economics point of view, this is not accurate, and I'll show you just how out of touch some of them are and don't understand the economics of this. I'll show you that on a video. But one person leaving does not equal one person coming. If that were true, the GDP per capita would be the same for each country around the world, when it's not. You look at somewhere like Luxembourg or even the Isle of Man, where I live. I know I'm not in the Isle of Man right now because it's winter, but you actually look at the GDP per capita of these countries, it's huge compared to other countries that are developing nations. The education is different, the culture is different, the mindset is different. So firstly, the Labour government need to understand this, that one for one isn't the same thing, which you would think would be obvious, but I guess not. Also, the departure of billionaires and millionaires from the UK in significant numbers could have some really, really serious economic implications. So I'm going to go through a little bit of that. And in fact, before I do that, let me just show you here. So this is just a really simple, this is Worldometer, but you can use any one, GDP per capita, United Kingdom, and we've got this in US dollars here. Let's just take PPP, okay? This is very, very simple. $54,603. You look at the United States, $76,399. Now, I'm in Thailand right now. Let's have a look at, let's say, Thailand, what the GDP per capita is. Well, it's $20,000. So you can see right away that one doesn't equal another. What if, here we go, we got this. What if someone came from the DR Congo, Democratic Republic of the Congo? Well, the GDP per capita is 1,337. Niger, 1,500, etc. So you can see that one doesn't equal one. I think that's the first thing we've really got to establish, because the government seems to think that it does. So let's have a look at what's actually happening with all these people that are fleeing then. You're having a huge loss of tax revenue. I explained this to someone earlier and they said, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Show me the data. Show me the facts. I love it when people say that. So I want to show you what I had to show them. I had to show them the data, I had to show them the facts. And this is it here. So the top 1%, which is this purple box here, or let's look at the orange actually box. So the top 1%, this is their share of income, and then this is the share of the tax that they pay. So they pay almost 30% of all the tax revenue, the personal tax revenue that comes into the United Kingdom. So they are leaving, one every 45 minutes is leaving the UK. So this is going to go down dramatically, and the UK already doesn't have enough tax revenue, so they're going to lose a significant portion. But even more staggering is that if we look at the UK data on this, and we look at the top 50%, if I've got it here somewhere, I'll have to pull it up afterwards, but the top 50%, I think, here it is, pay 90.5% of all income tax. And the bottom 50% pay just 9.5% of all income tax. So again, if you look at, it's very unequal at the moment. The people who are leaving are in this top 50%. So again, that's going to bring down very, very heavily the tax revenues. So there's that aspect as well. They wanted to get rid of the non-dom because they said it was unfair and people weren't paying their taxes. But again, that's not accurate. People, a lot of them were paying some form of taxes. Maybe it wasn't specifically income taxes, but there was capital gains, inheritance taxes. There's all sorts of other taxes that they may or may not have been, it depends on the individual, been paying. So one thing that we've got from these forecasts, I was reading, this is a non-government organization, did some new forecasts, and they said HNWIs, so these are high net worth individuals, their exit is going to crash. It says here, black and white, it's going to crash the economy. The investment is already being pulled out. Economic growth will be crippled, and innovation will also be crippled. So there's all these studies now coming out. Also, charitable organizations are also concerned, because the charitable organizations say that 80% of their money was coming from these individuals as well. So we can expect some issues there. A lot of brain dump, that they're calling it, talent loss. Already a lot of people have been leaving. So these are talented people, have been going with some of the people that have been leaving, or they've just been going for going overseas. We have as well, in fact, I want to get into this video. I want to show you this this video where let me just pull this up. Actually, before I show you the video, I think you'll find this interesting. Let me show you this as well. So this is called Capital Exodus, and it shows you, and I've gone by the last 1 year just to make this simple and to make it more accurate as well. It shows you, and this is a live graph of where all the money is flowing out of. And you can see here, China is number one, and that is 331 with 9 zeros here. That tells you hundreds of billions are flowing out. Hundreds of billions are leaving. 252 is the UK. Now you might say, well, China's losing more than the UK, but when you actually compare the GDP of China to the UK, you can see it's what, 2.6, it's 5.6, something like that, 5.6 times more their GDP. So that's really saying something, that the exodus here is so significant. The second highest by a long shot. India's third on there, but that's really because of the talent. It's slightly different reasons. Now, this was an interview that was on X. My X is just going crazy at the moment because I just did another post. I've started doing threads on X. So let me just play this a second.
Implemented, and that's what the British people
Hold on, let's get you some volume here. Here we go.
voted for when they elected a Labour government.
No, but I think the principle is the right one, that millionaires should pay their taxes. Let's agree on that point, Mr. Jones. I think everyone listening and watching GB News will agree with you there. But what the policy succeeded in doing is driving a millionaire out of the country that might have been paying tax to you at the Treasury every 45 minutes. So that's not a success, is it? It's a failure if fewer millionaires are paying tax.
I just love the way he starts laughing at at being caught out by being caught out by this one. He sort of says the same thing. Well, we need to tax them, get rid of them.
I think we both agree that if you want to live in the UK, you should pay your taxes here. That's
you're
what the
misunderstanding me.
Doing in place.
Everyone thinks millionaires should pay tax.
This is the thing, they were paying the taxes.
We love millionaires because they pay more tax than people on the minimum wage. But what I'm saying you've done is you've forced millionaires to leave the country because it's not economically viable for them to remain here with a tax burden at such a high. Therefore, the policy has been self-defeating. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, I do, Camilla, but what you're also suggesting is that we shouldn't have changed the non-dom tax status. I'm telling you that that's in clear conflict with the principle that we both agree with, that if you live here, you should pay your fair taxes here.
He just doesn't get it.
On which,
he doesn't get
our
it.
manifesto was set, and that was what we were implementing. And quite frankly, people who were affected by that had quite a lot of notice because we were very clear about that in opposition and during the election campaign.
OK, but do you understand that the principles of something may be good, like slap VAT on private school fees, but the practicalities might be bad? Oh, no, we're now causing a load of schools which look after special needs children to...
Yeah. I mean, she's right. This goes on and on a little bit here. But it's right. Actually, I know someone whose school has just closed for all of these new taxes as well. Talked about that one. Talked about that. Let's go back to, let me go back to, where do we get to here? Okay, I showed you that. Okay, here we go. So the UK economy had zero growth between July and September. So these are now revised figures. The figures have been revised. They always, put these figures out. Everything's amazing. And they revise them down afterwards. Inflation is rising at its fastest pace for 8 months. And the economy unexpectedly shrank as well. One of the UK's leading business group, the CBI, said its latest company survey suggested the economy is headed for the worst of all worlds. So many layoffs. Oh, here we go. Here's a good graph that I think everybody will understand and appreciate. So here we go. Here's Q1 of 2024. This is Q2. This is Q3. And I think we know what happened in Q4. It was either zero or negative. So that is very, very recessionary in nature. And by the way, I always forget to tell people during the video, subscribe if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, and also check that you're still subscribed to the channel. A lot of people have been saying to me that they've been unsubscribed. I don't know why. This seems to happen quite a lot, people getting unsubscribed from the channel. More stats then. 12 billionaires left the country last year. Some of them said they felt forced to leave the country because the government's just trying to tax them and take all of their money instead of more fair, whatever. 45 minutes, a millionaire leaves the country. It is pretty crazy what's going on. Oh, another thing I wanted to show you as well. Last night I talked about my newsletter that I'm about to release. So it's going to be released very shortly. The feedback's been amazing. So if you just go onto my website, neilmccoy-ward.com, you can put your email in, and you can subscribe and get that shortly. I think That was the main things I wanted to talk about. The other thing people were saying about yesterday was, what were all your China comments, Neil? And so many people have asked, Neil, did you receive a payment? I know that the people keep saying the CCP pay influencers. Some influencer said he was offered $4,000 to fly out and do a video. Did you get offered 4,000? Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Yeah, I literally flew to the other side of the world for $4,000 to do a video. Oh gosh, some of the comments I've been getting and emails that came through to the office have been absolutely insane. Some people have got the most wild imagination, I think ever. That the city was cleared for me. This new park was created. Someone said this new park was completely created for me, so that I could go and do this video and there was no people there. Others said that the cityscape was CGI in the background. Honestly, I think some people have got too much time on their hands or imagination with some of this stuff. I have to keep clarifying. There was no payment. They didn't pay for my flights, didn't pay for my hotel. I just like to go to different countries. That's actually my 75th country now that I have visited around the world. 75 countries. People ask me, is Russia on the list? Is North Korea? I think both of those are on the list. At some point, I'll probably go to Russia. I'll probably go to North Korea. I think it'll be quite exciting to go to those places, as long as I'm allowed to leave again. I don't want to say anything too crazy there and get arrested or something. But you just never know. All right. Thanks for being online. Take care. God bless. I'll see you on Friday now. All right. Bye.